Welcome back, my dear students. In this video, we will be discussing about some more examples of inner product space. So, the next example is the unitary space Cn, set of all n tuples of complex numbers, is a Hilbert space with the inner product xy should be equal to theta 1 eta 1 conjugate plus theta 2 eta 2 conjugate plus etc. theta n eta n conjugate, where x is equal to theta 1 theta 2 etc. theta n belongs to Cn, and y is equal to eta 1 eta 2 etc. eta n, which belongs to Cn. Okay, so here theta 1 theta 2 etc., each of them are complex numbers. So we have defined our inner product as such. We will prove that it's an inner product space, and with the associated norm and associated metric, we can clearly state that this is actually a Hilbert space as well, which we have already proved. So let's look into the details. The first property is IP1, which is actually equal to inner product x plus y z. If x is this and y is this and z is gamma 1, gamma 2 etc. gamma n, then x plus y is, as we already know, that theta 1 plus theta 1, theta 2 plus theta 2 etc. theta n plus theta n, which here by definition what we are going to do is take the first component of x plus y and take the second component of conjugate of the first component of z and then multiply it. That's the idea. So theta 1 plus eta 1 times gamma 1 conjugate plus theta 2 plus eta 2 times gamma 2 conjugate plus etc. theta n plus eta n times gamma n conjugate. So this is the whole idea. Now which we can split up into theta 1 gamma 1 conjugate plus eta 1 gamma 1 conjugate plus theta 2 gamma 2 conjugate plus eta 2 gamma 2 conjugate plus etc. theta n gamma n conjugate plus eta n gamma n conjugate. So which can be written as theta 1 gamma 1 conjugate plus theta 2 gamma 2 conjugate plus etc. theta n gamma n conjugate plus eta 1 gamma 1 conjugate plus eta 2 gamma 2 conjugate plus etc. eta n gamma n conjugate. Now this by definition is inner product x z, where x is this, z is this. By second part, it is inner product y z. So clearly the first property is being satisfied. Moving on to the second property. So the second property IP2 is inner product alpha x y, which by definition alpha x should be equal to alpha theta 1, alpha theta 2 etc. alpha theta. So alpha x y should be equal to alpha theta 1 eta 1 conjugate plus alpha theta 2 eta 2 conjugate plus etc. alpha theta n eta n conjugate. So if we take alpha outside, this should be equal to theta 1 eta 1 conjugate plus theta 2 eta 2 conjugate plus etc. plus theta n eta n conjugate, which should be equal to alpha times inner product xy. So second property is being satisfied. Now moving on to the third property, which is IP3, inner product xy conjugate, which should be equal to, inner product xy should be equal to inner product yx conjugate. So first we write inner product xy is actually theta 1 eta 1 conjugate plus theta 2 eta 2 conjugate plus etc. theta n eta n conjugate. Now inner product yx conjugate should be equal to eta 1 theta 1 conjugate, because we change the order. Okay, now eta 2 theta 2 conjugate plus etc. eta n theta n conjugate, the whole conjugate. And these are sum of complex numbers. The conjugate of the sum of complex numbers is actually conjugate's sum. Okay, so this should be equal to theta 1 eta 1 conjugate, the whole conjugate, plus eta 2 theta 2 conjugate, the whole conjugate, plus etc. eta n theta n conjugate, the whole conjugate. Now this can be written as eta 1 conjugate times theta 1 conjugate, the whole conjugate, which is equal to theta 1. And this can be written as eta 2 conjugate times theta 2 conjugate, the whole conjugate, which is actually theta 2, plus etc. Last is eta n conjugate. Now theta n conjugate, the whole conjugate is theta n. Okay, by the basic property of conjugate. So this can be written as theta 1 eta 1 conjugate plus etc. plus theta n eta n conjugate, which is actually inner product xy. So inner product yx conjugate is actually equal to inner product xy. Okay, so the third property is being satisfied. Now moving on to the fourth property. Okay, IP4 is inner product xx, which is equal to, by definition, theta 1 times theta 1 conjugate plus theta 2 times theta 2 conjugate plus etc. theta n times theta n conjugate. Now a times a conjugate is equal to modulus of a the whole square. Okay, so this should be equal to modulus of theta 1 the whole square plus modulus of theta 2 the whole square plus etc. modulus of theta n the whole square. Now modulus of every complex number is actually a positive number. Okay, so this is, each of these quantities are actually positive number, and the sum of the positive numbers is always greater than or equal to 0. So inner product xx is always greater than or equal to 0. Now inner product xx is equal to 0. Okay, if and only if this quantity is equal to 0. Okay, now this is equal to 0. Since each of them are positive, this should be equal to 0, which means each of them should be equal to 0. So which means it's equal to 0 for all j, which is 0 if and only if theta j is equal to 0. Okay. Okay, which means theta j is equal to 0 for all j, which means x is equal to 0. So inner product xs is equal to 0 if and only if x is equal to 0, and vice versa. X is equal to 0 means theta j, all theta j's are 0, its modulus 0, its sum of the modulus square is 0, then inner product xx is equal to 0. So it satisfies all the properties of the inner product as well. So from that, the unitary space Cn using this is an inner product space. Now using this we can define the associated norm as well. So norm x should be equal to square root of inner product xx, which by definition is modulus of theta 1 square plus modulus of theta 2 square plus etc. modulus of theta n square the whole raised to 1 by 2. So this is what is actually norm x. Okay. So associated with that we have a norm which is actually the usual norm which is defined on Cn as well. Now using this we have the metric d of xy should be equal to norm x minus y, which by means of this is actually x is theta 1, theta 2 etc. theta n, y is actually eta 1, eta 2 etc. eta n, x minus y is actually theta 1 minus theta 1 etc. theta n minus theta n, and x minus y times x minus y conjugate should be equal to theta 1 minus eta 1 conjugate, which is this etc. theta n minus eta n conjugate. So this should be equal to square root of inner product x minus y, which by definition should be equal to x minus y has this. So modulus of theta 1 minus eta 1 the whole square plus modulus of theta 2 minus theta 2 the whole square plus etc. modulus of theta n minus theta n the whole square the whole raised to 1 by 2, which is actually d of xy. Okay. From that it is clear that d of xy using this Cn is actually a complete space. From that this d of xy is actually induced by the inner product. So this is complete means our inner product should also be complete. So our space should be actually Hilbert space. So Cn is actually a Hilbert space. So we have established that our space Cn is actually a Hilbert space using this notation. Okay.